Okay, so as I mentioned in the previous video, the one where I introduced this watch as a new watch, which wasn't that long ago, I was going to show it on new strap option. And this isn't an official watchy strap in video, but I'm just going to show you what I got and how I'm going to just make a little modification. So, um, uh, though this will be great to wear for the most part on this stock navy blue tropic strap. I do believe this type of watch looks really good on a leather strap, and I was looking around for something that looked right, and there's a couple options I wanted, but uh, the trick was because I got the wanted to switch out the buckle. I bought an extra one of these, as you might know, and I just wanted a matching bronze buckle. And a lot of times you're just going to get a standard silver or gold plated or something else other than real bronze. And so I needed to find a strap that had, because this tapers down to 16 from 20 down to 16, and it is kind of tricky to find a strap in 20 mil that tapers down as much as 16 in the style that I was looking for. Most of them go down to 18, and I'd have to buy like some other aftermarket bronze, solid bronze, watch clasp, or I guess buckle. And I don't know, most of the one I've seen, they're coming out from like Estonia or someplace across the world from where I'm at in the United States. So I mean, I could wait for it, or either that, or if they're from China or something. I probably could just put it in. They don't cost much, but I just, gosh, how long does it have to wait? I'm not going to put express shipment on that. It'll probably take like a couple months, maybe. So I don't know. Maybe down the line I might try that, but for now, it's like since when I ordered the watch anew, I wanted to get my own leather strap option for this. Something in brown is, I think, works best. And yeah, so what I ended up doing is I got this, looked at Hobin's. They got pretty good selection, and this is what it comes in, and they give you some extra spring bars, 20, and I don't know why they gave me an 18 for. It's kind of weird, because this is a 20 mil strap. Just in case, I guess. You know what? I do have. Oh, that's what it is. I did buy strap, another strap that was 18 millimeters. That's for another incoming watch. What watch could that be? Who uses 18 millimeters, right? That's isn't that kind of small, sort of, but it's actually doable. It depends on the watch and the strap, I guess. But you shall see once I get that in. I think it's going to still be a few weeks because they had to. There's something about it that was back ordered. Anyways, so I ended up with getting this. It's from got from Hopins, but this is the brand is Fluco. You can see here, and they in Germany. So this is made in Germany. You can see there, basically I think handmade or handcrafted in Germany, Deutschland. 20 mils, and it's just basic kind of a vintage style, with the double stitches here and at the tail end. But I think it had enough of a sort of a distressed look. It's not, it could be more, but I think as I wear it, it may get to that state. There was other ones that I wanted that were probably a little bit more distressed, but they didn't go down to 18. I mean 16. They only went down to 18, or maybe they were straight 20s too. So yeah. Anyways, balancing that and the price, because for the price you get the Fluco straps for most of the time, they're pretty darn good. I don't think there was much more than 35, if even that. I think something like that. I forget. Doesn't say here, does it? Anyways, so take this off, and I should get a pair of scissors. You can really smell the leather. It's decent quality. I've been pretty happy with the straps from Fluco. vegetable tanned, I think. It's nice and soft. And you can imagine on this, I think this will look pretty sweet, especially once this thing starts patinaing, adding some more patina over time and darkens. It'll just kind of blend in to the strap. Not, it won't be, I don't think it's going to be completely brown, but I think that darkened golden tone with this and work. And it's kind of nice that the strap actually has like, not like bright off white, white stitching. It's actually kind of a, to my eyes, it's kind of ivory or actually maybe even beige. So, I think that kind of works with the gold colors and so forth with the watch. And yep. So as I showed in the other video, I have the extra buckle here. So he just wrapped it up like that for me. Comes with a little spring bar that goes, in between for this. And the thing I need to check is, well, first make sure it is going to fit. Right, 16. That should work just fine. I think either this is smaller than 16 or this is actually a little bit wider. Chances are this is probably slightly smaller, but it'll be fine. And the other important part to check is this. I want to make sure that the thickness in here will accommodate it. And it looks like it will. Actually, it's just about right. So I was thinking maybe this would be thinner, and I might have to cut this a little bit wider to squeeze it in there. But no, it looks like it should just get in there with a pretty good tight fit, but not overly. So we're going to just remove a few things. Hang on. Okay, so I'll remove the tag real quick. Snip. I didn't want to yank it. It may not tear easy, and it might maybe possibly mess up the strap. So next we're going to remove the stock strap. And this box I got from, I think, Daiso or something. I was looking around for something to hold like my small, there's a mix of spring bar tools that I've gone over the years, and these little things to remove, you can tap out your pins for your bracelet sizing, and small screwdrivers, and it fits just about right in here. And I generally use this one, but we'll see if it fits in. Also, what happens is in the bottom here, I'll show you, this is where I keep all my spring bars. Most popular 20s, so there's a bunch of them there. 21, 19s, and 18s. These are kind of the less common ones, but I do have watches that have used these in the past. It's just miscellaneous parts. And of course, the next most popular would be 22s, but I don't have too many watches with that these days. I used to, but primarily almost nearly everything but one watch is this one watch is 22 minutes, but the rest is 20. So, and then miscellaneous is like, I put these with the Fat Boy. These aren't your standard spring bar. These are like kind of the extra fatter ones that you kind of see in the Seiko divers. But these aren't the regular Seiko ones. They have I prefer the spring bars with the double flange or collar, whatever you want to call that, at the end. It just makes grabbing it with the spring bar tool easier, instead of those ones that don't have that. And then it's just like, it's not a flange, it's just, there is like a slight edge, but it's not nearly as defined. Something like this, for example. Yeah, see, you can grab it, like you can stick it there, but having those flange is just, they don't go into the hole, so it allows you to just have, sometimes these can go too deep into a hole, depending, and then it's a little bit more, seems kind of more invasive to try to jam the end of the spring bar tool in between to get it out. So that's what I use. Small, compact, out of the way. I mean, I would like to have a better spring bar tool, something a little larger for better purchase. I think it would get better leverage, but then it won't fit in here, and I don't know. All these years so far, that's all I've needed. And so, yeah, some people worry too much about getting into here to try to remove the spring bars. You just kind of slowly wedge it in, try to find where the, oh, you know what? Duh, I have a, that's what makes it great. I forgot I have spring bar holes. Drill 2 lug holes. So it can be a little less invasive, like trying to minimize scratching the material, right? But it's going to happen in between the lugs. Luckily, the spring, the straps will generally cover such areas anyway. So I don't know. I've learned not to worry too much about getting minor scratches, which are inevitably going to happen, no matter how much you try to protect it. So there's that. And I just keep them like this, so, and put them away in my strap thing box. So what we're going to do is remove, so here's the watch head, set that aside. What we're going to do now is remove this, and looks like we can attack it from on here too, on the side. They have, how convenient, we have drill through buckle to push. See how easy that was? But that's the one that I'm replacing it with doesn't have that, but that's all right. And then you just push that through and then pull that out, and then I try to keep it all together as a unit. So we're going to put this back onto here, and it looks like I have some extra baggies, so we can, or I can probably store it away in there, because I doubt I'm ever going to replace this back onto this strap, because when I get the bronze watches, I usually when I'm getting straps for it, I'm going to match the hardware, and so they're going to be specifically used for just this watch. So I'll probably never see this again, but you never know. Sometimes on rare occasions there are strap companies that make straps that don't come with this part. You kind of have to supply it yourself. It's rare, but it does happen. I've only had that with basically one strap. It's the kind of, I call it bone white ostrich strap that I got. I like using. You've probably seen it in some of the videos. It's one of my favorites. But that one didn't come with one of these, so instead of buying this, I just was, and I didn't want to wait for the order to come through. I went to like Walmart or somewhere just to buy a cheapo strap, something that costs about as much as this piece, just to, that was the right size, and scavenge it and then ditch the strap. Well, set it aside, maybe I might use it, but the main thing was to just cannibalize it for parts and then put it onto that other strap. Yeah, it may not be the highest quality, but it did the job. So now we're going to stick this on here. So what you need to do is make sure that this is lined up right. It's not going to be upside down like this, right? You don't want that. You want to make sure it's going to come in and lock in like that. That's all. And of course the strap is in the right position. So I think basically you fit this in here. You grab the spring bar for that, and then you feed it through. I'm just making sure I am recording. Sometimes I get lost and I forget. And then if you don't want to see potential scratches while trying to fit this in, do it on the inside instead of from the outside. That way at least it's going to be less visible. See, there we go. Just pop it in and then hear that click. Kind of wiggle and test fit it. And looks like it's good to go. It is slightly smaller. I should measure this. I'm curious. I'm sure this is 16 and this other one is smaller than that, but I don't have a small. This will suffice. This is basically a millimeter, so let's see. Yeah, the strap and the strap itself is just a tad under 16, I think. It's all right. It's no big deal. Once the other half comes over, it's going to basically cover this and it'll look fairly complete. But yeah, it's like 15.5 millimeters. If you can see that, right? Something like that, but it's all right. And so once you put this through here anyways, you're really, I don't think you're going to see much. So we're going to use the spring bars that they supplied from Hogan's. And they usually give us pretty good spring bars. They don't get the cheap Chinese, at least I don't think they are. But the crappy ones that are, sometimes they're not even the same length or even thickness. The spring bars that you can sometimes get from a cheapy brand like this. One might be a little bit thinner, and one might be slightly longer. But these have the flange on them too, which I like. It's not as defined as the one I got. The ones I usually get are pretty close to these, I guess. But I usually go with the ones from Bart's, and they seem pretty good quality. So, anyways, this is the right thickness. You don't want it too skinny. It might feel a little too loose. So I'm just going to use this to push it down through because it is a pretty tight fit, which is fine. There we go. The end popped through. And then we're going to just do the same here because this is pretty tight fit. Maybe I'm going to go through this end instead, unless I can, yeah. I figure I might push that material through. Let's go all the way and something like that. And sometimes if the strap is too stiff, you know, what I do is kind of like do one of these numbers and then kind of cross twist it and then evenly roll or twist it, I guess. So I give it a, you know, make it conform to the wrist as soon as possible. Instead of if it's too stiff, it will kind of want to bow out, if you know what I mean. And it won't sit right or maybe even comfortably if it's that harsh or hard, firm, rigid. And it's all right. Work that leather anyways. I want it to look more used and not abused, just more used. So we're gonna pop this in here and you can check this out. Again, if I do this, I usually do it from the inside. Some people are so scared to do this. Remove it, just push it down enough, let it slip through. Try not to let this thing scrape up against the lugs, you know. But if you push the spring bar low enough and actually push the leather material down low enough, you should have just enough clearance. And then test the fit, of course. Again, I put one in first, and it's a pretty tight fit. I can feel it. I can see that. And I have to kind of push it down under slightly. It's a little bit tight, but that's all right. You want a nice clean fit. And then to make sure that the edge of the flange on the spring bar doesn't push up and scrape the back of the lugs or the bottom as I'm pushing in and down, because if you do push in, and you kind of have to, right, to kind of work that spring bar in down, you might push it up against the lug, and then when you push it down, you're gonna kind of scrape it. So with this finger, I'm trying to push it out so that we try to keep that spring bar away from that lug as much as possible. Bring it down. Sorry, I don't have it. Let me see if I can zoom up for you guys. Sorry, I'm just concentrating on doing this. So, see, I'm just pushing it from behind so that avoid having the spring bar touch that as much as possible. And then make sure you got a good purchase, because if you slip, one or the other or both could hit the lug. But it's not the end of the world, but you know, just general practice to try to keep it scratch free. So then push it down and then low enough and let it slip under, then retract that, and then just kind of feel for there. Snaps in, double check, and there we go. Let's back up here. I think that'll look pretty sweet. I mean, it does look pretty sweet. It's already on there. Yep. And this matches. And we'll see. This is not the strap I'm going to wear it on the most, because, well, depends. If I'm not working, I will, because again, I wash my watches, and I won't be able to wash this kind of strap if I'm bringing it to work. Just the way I am. Let's not get into that. So I do have this option, which is good for cleaning, and the fabric parachute strap is also easy to clean too, and durable, and I'll probably wear that on maybe the most. It's that Erica's original strap, which whenever they get that made, probably it should be coming in another week or so. Crystal, yeah, let me clean that up a little. All right, whoops, sorry. So what we're gonna do is, I'm just gonna put it on wrist. Another thing that I do with some new straps is that this end sometimes is also very straight and stiff. So what I might do before that is just also give it kind of roll it a little so it kind of curves in and close to the strap, so it's just not, you know, jutting out after you slip it through the keepers. It has a little bit of a bend or curvature to it to conform with the rest of the strap, you know, if you know what I mean. And I'll push it through, and then just because going through there straightens it out a little bit, I might just kind of do something like that, and then push this on. And hopefully this will hold. Again, it's really, I don't know why companies that make straps, they don't make this one a little bit tighter, like the same tightness as that. You can kind of tell because you can see a little bit space here, but this one doesn't really. They always make this one the great diameter or tightness around it, and for some reason they just go a little bit too loose, I think, on the last keeper that's movable, and then generally that'll either keep sliding in or right off, and then you got to adjust it. But we'll see. Maybe this might be okay. Turn this guy around. There you go. And you see, you're not gonna, for the most part, you're not gonna notice that, you know, a little bit of like a 0.5 millimeter gap between there. Whatever, you know, this is the side that you're going to be focused on anyways. But it's nice to have a matching buckle. And you see, even if you saw my other video, the complaint I had about this a little bit of a gripe, was that it's so straight, and because of this material and then the thickness of it and the holes, it just basically just needed to have like a little kind of a S kind of bent to it, so that it could slip into these the holes when you're sizing and securing it on, without it kind of making it, you know, it would keep it from bowing out and keep the buckle closer to the body, versus now that's kind of right off of it. It's hard to explain. You watch me the video, it'll kind of demonstrate and illustrate what I'm talking about. It's just not as tight and clean a fit as I would like because of the way, mainly this guy, it's not bent enough. It needs to have that little S to give it a little bit of help to keep the shape of it more correct. But on this, because I think it's the same buckle and the thickness, actually this is probably thicker than a little bit thicker than this, or even if it's about the same, you can see how if you compare it to my other video with this at least seems to ride closer. It doesn't kind of hang out like that like it does on that, so that's good. And the strap itself doesn't kind of want to bow out like that like it did on this. It wasn't terrible super bad, but you know, you just get used to it with this kind of strap. But this one, because the leather is more pliable, a bit more forgiving, you can do that. And the added benefit is with this is that it actually has two keepers. So this one has one that's close to the buckle area and the tang, so that even if it did want to come out, this helps keep it, you know, down. Versus this, this particular trapeze shot only has the one, so you kind of have to push this one out to the tail end, right, to keep that as controlled and down as possible. And then that's why when that happens, there's nothing closer to this part to hold the strap down. So well, you give and take. There are trapeze shots that actually have two keepers, which I kind of wish they had, but no big deal. Again, I've gotten used to it already, the way it is. And I mean, I'll wear this occasionally still, but I think this is a nicer option in general to wear it with. Just that brown and this kind of tone with this bronze case, and I can't wait to see it patina where it is. You can see right down along the bottom edge. I'm trying to focus, but oops, jeez, sport here. You can see it now, right? It's a bit darker down there on the bottom. You start to speckle a little bit. It's cool. This is what I'm going for, and I think it's starting to do that on this side of it, though it seems more evident on there, but we'll see. That's within a day or so already. So I think we'll start to see progress happen quite rapidly. It may not be as slow patina as some say that this particular bronze should be. Anyways, I'm going to do an official watch your strap in probably tomorrow, and so you can check it out and do some couple of nice pics that I'll post on the groups and social media as well, so look out for those. And anyways, that's it. So I don't know, I hope it was fun and entertaining and informative for you, if not anything else. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.